for waking up with Good Day Sunday on Fox 4.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome in on Good Day Sunday. I'm Jenny Anchondo. Meteorologist Jennifer Myers has been busy for the last couple of days tracking all of this. New information now on rain totals. No, Jennifer? Okay, we'll go to Jen momentarily. Meantime, I can tell you about this. Nearly 36 hours after Harvey roared ashore as a hurricane, it is now a tropical storm. Harvey has claimed 2 lives, including a woman who was found dead inside a vehicle. The Houston Fire Department says she drowned in a flooded area of the city, and there are reports of hundreds, possibly even more than 1,000 water rescues in the overnight hours. We'll tell you more about that in just a moment, but now we do want to shift to one of the hardest hit areas. The city of Rockport, which is about 30 miles northeast of Corpus Christi. That storm made landfall in the tiny town, damaging homes, businesses, and schools, and you see the destruction in this video. At least 1 person died in a house fire during the storm. As many as 14 other people were injured. Fox 4's Alex Boyer joins us live now this morning with an update, and I just mentioned that town. He's in Corpus Christi, though, which is not nearly as hard hit.
That's right, Jen.
And I mentioned that, you know, Rockport, very different from where you are, but it's only about 30 miles away. So hopefully they're able to help out in a significant way. So yesterday when we spoke, you mentioned that it was a lot of media staying at the hotel, but also, you know, some first responders, other people. Are those folks still there? And is the hotel sort of full or filling up at this point?
Well, Jen, like that utility convoy that I mentioned, I'd estimate...
Understandable. All they've been able to see is what, you know, the little bit we've shown them on TV. Alex Boyer, thank you so much.
Sure.
22 inches of rain falling over the last 2 days. Think about that, 22 inches of rain. That triggered flooding in cities like Houston. The Harris County Sheriff says there were hundreds of water rescues overnight. The city's mayor warned yesterday and before Harvey hit that the rain would linger and that it would be days before they were in the clear. He reminded people not to let their guard down. And so, Jennifer, we had been, you know, sort of focused on the area where Alex is yesterday, but today we really need to look at what's happening there in Houston.
Yeah, and at this
Jennifer, thank you. And we've been talking about different areas of water rescue. I mentioned, you know, the hundreds. And then there's also this, 20 people rescued so far in the area of Port Aransas near Corpus Christi, where 15 people on boats were rescued. Also, at least 4 people were saved from a sinking boat in that area. And crews in Port Aransas are starting to assess the extent of the damage. The city was hit hard, so heavy debris and utility poles are spread all across the roadways entering the city. The city manager says he's unsure when it will be safe for people to return to their homes, though, of course, they are kind of chomping at the bit to get in there and find out what they're left with. Not only is Harvey dumping rain on parts of South Texas, the storm also spawned what appears to be tornadoes near the Houston area. Damali Keith from our Houston affiliate surveyed the damage in Cypress, north of the city, after possible twisters touched down.
Told my wife.
400 people are taking refuge at a shelter on Bonneview Road, and then there's another one right off of Walnut Hill. Michelle Harrison and her family from Kemah near Houston are staying at the Tommy Allen Recreation Center.
You work so hard, and then just something like this can come and just wipe everything that you worked so hard for, and it can be just completely gone in just a matter of seconds. And then where do you go?
Plans to open another recreation center are now underway. Mike Rawlings tweeted that shelters do not need more volunteers, but what they do need is donations. Those can be made through the American Red Cross. It's 7-11 right now. Police say a man waving a gun at them opened fire and they had to fire back. Details on this overnight story next on Good Day Sunday. And the federal effort to help Harvey storm victims starts right here in North Texas. We'll take you inside an operations center when we return. Live look from Bush Intercontinental Airport. We're talking about the impact of Harvey in Houston. Hundreds of flights have been canceled over the weekend. Water has been pooling up on the runway. And I'm also looking at some emergency management tweets now online from the Houston area indicating non-life-threatening water inside the home is safer than going outside. Difficult and scary, but we will get to you. Please shelter in place. That is the message this morning in Houston. Well, before the president approved a federal declaration for Texas, workers with the Federal Emergency Management Agency were making sure that they had what they needed to help South Texas. Fox's Lynn Ann Wynn takes us inside their center in Denton.
Okay, Jenny, we've got live pictures from Houston. My goodness.
Yeah, so what we're looking at right now is people wading through the water. You guys, this is awful. So emergency officials, and I had just mentioned the word that came out from emergency officials in Houston, and that was that we know it's scary to stay inside of a home that is flooding, but please do not go outside. This is giving me goosebumps to watch this right now, because what they're saying is it's clearly not safe to go outside either. They are making tremendous efforts to get to people in areas that are flooded.
Don't move.
But right now, you know, there's a lot of people, and you know, they're saying again, non-life-threatening water inside a home is safer than going outside. And our Fox affiliate there in Houston, which has been on the air, you know, all throughout the night covering this, had been indicating people, you know, were driving down the road and turning around, going the wrong way because they just couldn't get through. And now as this shot is panning over, it looks like they're attempting a rescue. So, and Jennifer, we've talked about this before, where the water can look like it's standing, and it isn't always. It can go very quickly, it can move very quickly, and you just don't know what's lying underneath.
And a lot of people don't realize how heavy water is. A 3 foot by 3 foot cube of water, Jenny, weighs an actual ton. Even the slightest movement with the water can carry, 6 inches of water can carry a person away. 2 feet, 3 feet, which is what they're seeing here. This absolutely terrifies me at this point. I know they're on a rope, I know that they're getting help here, but normally in this situation, I would have wanted these people to stay at the traffic sign that they were holding on to. Thankfully, it seems like the water,
just because they have something to hold on to.
Something to hold on to, because what they did, that when they started to cross that the water there, that's the last thing you want to do. I'm so thankful that somebody is there to help them out. Jenny, and this is just the beginning. We're going to be seeing things like this happening all day long.
Right. We don't know the exact location of this, but we do know that extraordinary measures are being taken by first responders to save lives in Harris County. Goodness. So if you've been in touch with people, and sometimes what'll happen is they're inside of a home, it's flooded, or they don't have access to the media and such that you're seeing. If you've got a loved one there in the Houston area, first responders are saying to try to go to the roof of the house. That's the other advice too. And this sounds grim, but if you have to go to the attic, the emergency officials are saying to take an axe with you if you absolutely must go into the attic.
Because this right here, this is the last ditch thing that you should be doing, is going out in the water. And Jenny, the water, it doesn't look that bad, but it's contaminated. It has sewage in it. It can have deadly bacteria. I mean, the last thing you want to do is be waist deep in the water, even if it's not moving like we're seeing very fast here. This is just an absolutely, this is a bad situation.
And from what I understand, you're saying this is going to get worse before it gets better.
Jenny, I'm to the point where I don't even know what to say anymore. We're
detergent.
We welcome you back in at 7:26 with live images from Houston. We just watched a rescue take place there in the Houston area, and now it appears that rescue workers, or perhaps citizens, somebody is out there trying to help people who are stranded out in the water. Some people have attempted to leave their homes in an effort to get away from a home that is flooded, and they have become stuck. You see another person there just kind of stuck on top of a vehicle, waiting, hoping that someone will come by and help. Again, we saw what appeared to be one successful rescue take place there live in Houston. And so what we understand is that this flooding will get worse. Emergency officials are asking that people please stay inside their homes. And this is something we'll continue to monitor. We just got word from one of the Houston affiliates, KHOU, that is, the station itself is taking on water, and they have now moved up to the 2nd floor. Again, now we're seeing, we hadn't seen this in the earlier shot, really. The rescuers were just sort of walking around. Now we've got folks out there in boats. Again, it's hard to tell if this is sort of, an official rescue personnel. It appears that perhaps it is, or if it's somebody with a boat that's going out to help out his fellow citizens. Again, this is kind of the remnants from Tropical Storm Harvey in the Houston area. And, another note, not nearly as important, but important for you if you're heading out. The airport there in Houston is closed. Any flights in and out are not going to be happening right now, which is understandable considering this situation. We'll have more right after this.
I like this pizza.
Welcome in on this very busy Sunday morning, everybody. I'm Jenny Ann Chondo. Roads in the Houston area are starting to flood in an extreme way. Already, at least one person has lost their life. Rains from Harvey triggered a flash flood emergency there. So there are different levels, and this is a very high level. Bayous, creeks, and the Brazos River are filling up at this point. Officials are warning people of catastrophic flooding.
This rain band that's coming through is bad, but it's expected. It's what we've been saying. This is what we've been worrying about. We don't know where the heavy rains are going to fall.
This rain band came through, and let me tell you, it is dropping a lot of water. And the streets are treacherous. It makes absolutely no sense for anyone to be out on the road unless it's an emergency.
One woman was killed during the flooding in Houston. Her car was, the woman was leaving her car in high water and was found about 30 yards away. The death toll from Harvey is now at 2. And Jennifer, while it's tough to look at this video we have right now, this is old video. This has been fed to us. The stuff that's happening live, that's happening as we speak, is even worse.
The stuff I'm seeing on social media is just, it's jaw-dropping, the way that we're seeing the flooding stacking up right now. And there's no end in sight right now because they're still seeing extremely heavy rain. Before we talk about Houston,
Rawlings tweeted that shelters do not need more volunteers right now. They are set on that, but they do need donations. Those can be made through the Red Cross. And I've had a couple of you reach out to me today asking how. You can get information on our website, fox4news.com. In the light of day, we see the extreme devastation and danger there in the Houston area after Harvey moved in and caused extreme flooding. You see vehicles. We have seen water rescues taking place before our eyes in the live picture. We've got another image that I've been looking at from my computer screen here of I-610 in Houston. And the water is almost up to the street signs, which is similar to what you're seeing right there. We also want to talk to Alex Boyer because Harvey is still causing problems for people in South Texas who lost everything, and now they're trying to recover as well. Yeah. He is in Corpus Christi with an update. So you don't have the flooding that we were looking at in Houston, but still, people need help there.
Result of what came through here.
Well, it sounds like you guys just kind of lucked out at that one particular hotel then to look at how you all fared and then what happened across the street.
Yeah, that's right. And if Wally.
And you speak about sort of the ghost town aspect. I know sometimes when we head into a situation like this, you can't even find a gas station that's open to buy a bottle of water, to get a meal. Are restaurants and convenience stores and things like that open at all today?
Well, I can tell you in talking to my photographers and businesses will reopen as well.
Yeah, you forget that people really do depend on those little conveniences.
They do.
That are now essential. Okay, Alex Boyer, thank you.
That's right.
You know, the damage from the storm not only stopped residents, but also first responders. A state trooper, for example, in Rockport got stuck right in the middle of some downed power lines. That's when people stopped in the rain to help the trooper out.
That's what people do. They band together. They see a common need, and they all furnish everything that they've got to get the job done.
The Good Samaritans were able to cut the power line so that it wouldn't be in the way of other cars and other people who were driving through. And Jennifer Myers is back with me now. We've been looking at some different images before and after. And it's remarkable and it's frightening.
Even since the last hour. Last hour we showed you live pictures from Seabrook and then pictures from yesterday and then even before the storm came in. And now we have yet another update. So first I want to show you two images. The top images is what was from August 24th. The bottom image is what we saw from yesterday. A couple of things to note. You can see some patio furniture off in the distance. You can see that fork in the tree to your left. This image is what was taken literally just moments ago. You can no longer
4 minutes until 8 o'clock, and these are live pictures from Houston as water rescue after water rescue is underway. You see these people left. I mean, you know, so they're saying, hey, try to take something that will help save you. That little raft is not going to do it. But thankfully, we do know that there are some officials that are out there and trying to make those rescues. You know, we've seen some pretty frightening things happening, Jennifer, in terms of people just walking out there into the water and then getting stuck and having to be rescued by other citizens. And we're hoping that people are going to wait in their homes, and if they have to, go to the roof until an official, rescue personnel with the proper equipment can get to them.
Jenny, some really disturbing things on the Facebook pages of some of our sister stations out in Houston right now. People begging, giving addresses and begging people to come and showing pictures of inside their home of literally feet of water coming into their homes. And honestly, as long as the water doesn't rise, they should stay there, even with the water in their home. It's not going away anytime soon, folks. It is only going to get worse before it gets better, and it's going to take a long time before it gets better. This storm is not moving. Its forward motion is about a mile an hour right now. Those heavy rain bands continue through Houston. We had a tornado warning that expired about 15 minutes ago south and west of the Houston area. We'll continue to see the tornadic threat as we go into the afternoon. And Jenny, even here, we're looking at possible impacts through the rest of the week. 40 to 50% chances of rain by the end of the week as that storm lifts north.
And the impact will be felt here as well. We will continue with our resources and our coverage digitally. We are on fox4news.com. Also follow us on our social media channels.